Hello, hello.
I fucking hate Seagull.
How's it going, chat?
I fucking hate Seagull. What is Seagull doing?
Spartan, that's pretty good. All right, what we got? Chat, the internet had, I want to say, what happened in the 2 days that I was gone from the internet again? That things occurred. Pre-crashing for Dying Light and Otters. I did download the game, but I will not be playing it today. Honestly, I had such a bad experience with crashing in early Dying Light that I'm still trying to convince myself I need to play the game again. And I am currently failing because I've crashed so many times in that game and it's wiped so many saves as an example that it's just exhausting. So what do we got? Let me think of news. What news has happened the last couple days? There was, let's see. A Reddit mod went on Fox News. Oh God. Well, that's a disaster already. I mean, that's all that needs to be said. A new Apex trailer released? Someone fill me in actually on Apex. There has to be a new season soon, right? I have actually not played Apex in a hot minute. It's been a while, chat. Oops. New season and character. New season like 2 weeks. 9v9 deathmatch mode. All right, I'm in. I want to play deathmatch. If Apex actually has a deathmatch mode, that sounds way more fun. One of my big complaints actually about Apex was if you don't play the game a lot, it's a little bit hard to get back into the swing of things, right? The idea that like you have to learn how to aim at stuff and all the different weapons have different spreads. And Apex is faster movement than most games, at least in combat and stuff, and there's cool things. It would just be really fun to practice that, but you couldn't really practice it. The closest thing was arenas, but arenas had a ton of downtime, right? And then you had normal battle royale, which obviously has a lot of downtime because either you land in fragment over and over and fight in one of the big towns or big buildings and die instantly half the time, but it's not that fast. But if there's a deathmatch mode, suddenly everything gets a lot easier. Like a lot easier. Nagzor Malice. Frivolous insults of the 100 biddies. Thank you, Frivolous. Palladium. Spartan Horizon. Cosby. Thank you. Astral, Buckeye, Frivolous also with the gifted sub.
I fucking
Alex
hate
Silver,
Seagull.
Adderall, thank you. A lot of subs. Holy shit, thank you. So yeah, if they actually, it's more like domination at TDM, but that's basically DM though. You know what I mean? Like it may not be perfect, but it's close. I see it looking like a Bond villain. Oh god, is my camera dark? One sec. Or put it slightly brighter for you. I don't know why it was so dim. But it'd be very good. So I'm excited. It's only, someone said it's only a week long. It's a 3-week limited time mode. That's fine. Even if it was only 1 week, I'd probably hop on and try it out for the first week because it's something that the Apex scene has been asking for such a long time. So Bendy Nachos, 15 months. Thank you. I think you mean the critically acclaimed Overwatch Workshop game mode Conquest. True. Made by our very own Cactus. We're all going to use it as warm instead of playing the objective. You'd be surprised, okay? There are many, many people in the world chat who play game modes that are not competitive and they get very competitive over it. Chat, like me and my friends, there is the inevitable Winter Grasp guy in every game, right? If you guys ever played WoW, you probably know what I'm talking about. You go into a BG and there's probably some guy yelling at people. You go into like a Final Fantasy, go into it like what is it? What's the Final Fantasy PvP mode that everyone does their daily in order to get massive XP on their alts? I'm forgetting the name of it. There's always a guy in there, no matter what, who's just like, oh my god, no one's playing the objective. Frontline, yes. It's like this in every video game. There's always one person in every game. It's always true. I don't know why, but it is. Naltz, 64 months. It has been a long time, Naltz. Thank you. Yeah. What? It's true. It is definitely true. There's always somebody. Okay. So when I was AFK chat, we have a few things. The first one, I will just say this because I saw this like it was like posted an hour ago. It's from Bren. It says, Josh and I currently do not have an agreement for 2022 with the Overwatch League, marking the end of our 4 years as broadcast talent for Overwatch League. Wish the league and our colleagues best of luck for Overwatch 2. We've been a part of Overwatch League since day one, and for me personally, I can be proud of what I accomplished alongside some of the best in the business. So a lot of my personal growth to my involvement in the Overwatch League, and can soundly say I'm a better person because I fucking love Bren. For 2022, I'm planning on being involved in esports through freelance events, Plat Chat, and Valorant co-streams, and obviously the podcast too. All my energy is focused on making this best year yet for Plat Chat. And then he says, this life-changing event would have been much worse on my Twitch community. I want to thank them for their support. I've never been more confident moving 2022. I've actually loved watching Bren's Twitch stream, by the way. He played Outer Wilds. Holy shit. It was hilarious. Also, Dad, 7 months. Luxizzle, 6 months. Thank you. But this is actually really surprising because I find it really weird that just the idea that if you're Overwatch League in this situation and this next season they've said will be played on Overwatch 2, I feel like in order to turn the league around, this is the one moment you want the most stacked talent you possibly can. And I would consider Sideshow and Bren to be one of the best duos of the Overwatch League. I'm also biased because I've known them from Team Fortress 2. I've known them for a really, really long time. I just think they're really, really good at what they do. And so I find it weird that if you're Overwatch League in this situation, you would not just throw them the fucking bag. Right? The idea that you're going into a high impact year with Overwatch 2 and Overwatch 2's first, what was it, like showcase, I guess would be the word. It's the first season played on something new that would hopefully get a lot more viewers. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. And so it feels like that's much more important than, say, the last year, right? And you're not giving these guys a shit ton of money to keep them around for at least 1 year. Seems weird. Especially when I know they're really good and they also have options to go to other games, because it's not like Valorant, for example, has not been keeping an eye on these guys. For those who don't know, Bren, Sideshow, Wyatt, Avast, the whole crew, right, that does Plat Chat, they do Valorant co-streams because Riot specifically gives them co-streaming rights to watch their tournaments as a crew on YouTube. And so for people who don't know, like they do it on YouTube, but they usually get, like, I would say when I was watching them, they would peak at like 5-6K viewers, which is really, really good considering there's just a bunch of friends in a house, right? Just all hanging out, watching tournaments together. And that was, I think they only had that right on YouTube for a few of the tournaments. And every Valorant tournament, everybody loves them. Yeah, well, I hope so. And so I think this is really disappointing actually for Overwatch League because I don't know, just it's not just the fact that they're so good as casters, but also their style, right? The idea that Bren and Sideshow, this is more of like a personal thing for me, I guess. The idea that Bren and Sideshow are so good at making a shit show game really funny. And so when you're going into Overwatch 2 for the first time, right? Because they've said previously that this season we'll be playing Overwatch 2, and it's 5v5, and there's probably going to be a shit ton of new characters. Isn't this like prime Bren and Sideshow, like meme territory? Half these games, no one's going to have any idea what the fuck is happening, and it's just going to be a total shit show. And I'm going to really miss not being able to see their silly casts for stuff like this, you know? Because yeah, it's a big loss for the league, in my opinion. But also, very on a selfish level, I'm extremely excited to see what they do with Plat Chat and his own streams and stuff, because I really enjoy watching their just all their other content too. So it's good. Brand Sideshow are moving along. There are much better prospects for them out there other than Overwatch League. I mean, yeah, that's true. And they definitely have created their own stuff on the side to be able to support themselves via Plat Chat and everything like that, I think. And I know that Overwatch is not exactly like the most biggest game in the world. You know what I mean? But even still, it's a change in career, right? It like, as he says, life-changing event. So it's a big time, I guess, or a big thing for them. Anyway, that's the Bren and Sideshow stuff I saw just an hour ago, right as I was going live. But also, chat, there was another interesting announcement by the Blizzards. Create a new universe with us. Apparently, Blizzard has announced that they are working on a unannounced survival game. Maybe it's unannounced Goose Game, Untitled Goose Game, you know? I don't know. This is going to be really... We don't actually know anything about this other than the fact that we're working on this. And then from the picture, we can obviously see... All right, I see a dagger. I see quiver. This is also cropped. I've seen a bigger picture of this. Where did I see the bigger version of this? Might have been their Twitter. But she also has a bow and an axe. And so I'm like, okay, you say you're working on a survival game. Your concept art has a bow and it has an axe. But then also your other art has a bike. And so obviously this is super... I don't actually care about anything other than the setting.
What is Seagull doing?
But I'm like, all right, I'm ready to chop some trees. Okay, I want to chop some trees and I want to shoot a bow. And I'm okay with this. Other than that, I think a lot of people actually forget that Blizzard on a technical level is really, really, really good. And so when I think of Blizzard getting into the survival game genre, you don't have to know anything about Blizzard. And you don't need to know anything about the game whatsoever to know that it will probably be very well polished, which is automatically a very good thing in the survival games genre, because I swear every other game is like, okay, guys, we're early access, we're open world, we have crafting, and we lag. And that's like every other game. And they all run like shit. But it's a Blizzard game. So automatically, no matter how shitty this game could possibly be, and no matter what people say about Blizzard as a company and how they develop games, the one thing Blizzard always has is very, very good technology. It is always extremely crisp to play a Blizzard game, and it's generally very well performing, no matter how bad the gameplay may be. On a technical level, it's generally pretty good. There's only been one exception to that I can ever think of, and that's Warcraft 3 Reforged. And immediately, what did they do after that team? They like canned the entire team, bought Vicarious Visions, and they're like, yo, VV, you're making D2 Resurrected now. Good luck. And then D2 Resurrected came out, and that was absurdly polished and extremely, extremely well done. So The other part about this too is on a more general Blizzard level. Sorry, my voice is like half dying.
What is
Weird.
Seagull doing?
Blizzard is typically the best at giving their own genre, or not creating their own genre, but taking a genre that exists and putting their own spin on it. That's how World of Warcraft got so popular and stuff like that. The one exception that being Heroes of the Storm. And so I've seen quite a few people talk about that idea, the idea that, well, they're not really innovating potentially, but they're always very, very good at refining, historically speaking. So we'll have to see how this goes over time. And also, just because they don't show anything, by the way, I would expect to not see this for many years. Like if Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 or whatever were in that quarterly call pushed from this year to next year, whatever it was, then I would expect this to be like a year or two after that. Like I would expect this to be at least 3 years away. And from my own opinion on this is when they do an announcement like this, that's relatively low key. There's no trailer, right? There's no hype. This is, and it's literally just a job listing. This is just for recruiting people. We've also seen this happen. There's another company that just did this. It was Respawn, actually.
I can't wait for the game to come out and then get no support in favor of unannounced survival game 2.
I know, Tay-Tay. I know. It's tough out here, Tay-Tay. But thank you, Tay-Tay, for dropping by. But as for the other game that did this was the other dev that just did this was Respawn. For those who don't know, where is it? I'm gonna find it. Give me a sec. I want to say it was Respawn 3 games. Was it Star Wars? Yes, they also had a very, I guess, kind of. Here we go. Not like a huge trailer, nothing massive. It's just a big PR release, right? Of, hey, we're working on 3 new Star Wars games by Respawn, which I'm obviously excited for because Respawn is an incredible developer. Even though I really just want to see Titanfall 3. Apparently Titanfall 3 was sacrificed to give us 3 Star Wars games, and that's really unfortunate. But on the other hand, we get, as it says, we are already working on the next game in the action-adventure Star Wars Jedi series and are joined by 2 new teams working to deliver additional blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Leading the development of Respawn's all-new Star Wars FPS. It's Peter Hirschman, game director Respawn. And the third title is a Star Wars strategy game with a collab of the newly formed studio Bit Reactor, headed by, I don't know a lot of these people, so I don't know the specifics. And also, by the time I hear Star Wars strategy game, my brain is already turned off and I'm fully zoomed in on Star Wars FPS. I don't actually care about a Star Wars FPS. Like, I don't care about the Star Wars IP. But if this is an actual excuse for them to make a really, really good single-player FPS game again, they don't say it's single-player, so probably won't be. But, you know, I'm in. Because they make really, really cool FPS games. Respawn is very, very cool. Seagull's too small brain for strategy. True. Very true. And so, there's a lot of, like, it's just going to be cool. This is another one, I guess, right? Where they announce these 3 things they're working on, and they announce the genre of what they're working on, right? And then immediately at the bottom, work has already begun and Respawn is looking for talent. Additional info on job posts to be found at Respawn Careers, right? And immediately they're like, yo, this is what we're doing. We're announcing it. Please come work for us. And I think a lot of the games industry as a whole has this sort of problem right now where, like, indie devs have sniped so much talent from a lot of the AAA devs because investment money has been flowing around so much that we've seen a lot of devs moving from the big devs such as Ubisoft or Riot, and of course Blizzard, although Blizzard has a lot of people probably leaving for various reasons, if you get what I mean. But we'll see. I'm really interested in stuff like this. They're also still working on original title 2 that is yet to be announced, so we know Respawn is working on 4 titles. Yeah, and that's awesome because there's a lot of, so let me think about this. We have, so that means Respawn's working on 4 different games plus Apex then, right? And then we also have Blizzard. I remember hearing at one point that they said they were working on more games than ever before. And I remember hearing this like a year or two ago. So this was definitely obviously in development by that time, like pre-planning and all that shit. But I'm interested to see what else Blizzard has to offer. And on that note, where is it? Where is it? There is also, oh god, I gotta find the link to this. Well, I only found a Reddit thread about it, which is close enough. But Mike Ybarra, who is, I don't actually know Mike Ybarra. Is he like the president of Blizzard now? He's one of the big executives at Blizzard. He says, Blizzard is a big studio. We have talented and growing teams supporting our live games as well. Over the coming weeks, you will be hearing more on that from Warcraft and Overwatch. Diablo will follow. Stay tuned. This I find interesting because this is around the time period last year, which was, what did they show last year? It was the big BlizzCon Online. They showed a shit ton of content over on the PvE side of things. And I believe, was that also the same time period they showed 5v5? I don't think so. I think 5v5 was its own smaller release much later, right? Trying to remember everything off the top of my head. Copium, skin reveal, Copium. Dude, chat, it's a little bit different when I have Copium over something that someone literally says you'll be hearing more from Warcraft and Overwatch, who's like the president of fucking Blizzard. I'm like, yo, you actually got some shit? Like, let's go. But we'll see. I know that the Warcraft one makes sense, right? Because the WoW still needs to announce their expansion. For you guys who don't know how Blizzard typically works, back in the days of pre-COVID, they would normally have announced the new expansion for World of Warcraft by this point, and they haven't done anything. So, quote, we're still making Overwatch 2 and WoW. Well, they could do that, but you got to keep in mind that last year they actually did hold an online event, right? They had BlizzCon Online. And so I don't know if they're still doing anything like that, but if they do, listen, chat, just let me have my fucking hopium, all right? Just let me be out here hoping, you know, just sitting here praying in the corner for some sweet, sweet drops of Overwatch content, okay? Live games, more like dead games, lol. God damn it, dude. A bunch of the Hearthstone devs also left a team for another unannounced game. Yeah, they definitely have quite a few unannounced games at Blizzard, because there is that one that you just talked about, Jim Bob, and then we have the survival game that was just announced. So that's at least, I think they're 2 different teams. I would have to go back and look, right? Cocoa Puffs, if you have a chance, would you be reacting to a fan made? Oh god, no thank you. I don't want to react.
What is Seagull doing?
I don't want to react to a fan made movie, but thank you, Hoko Puffs. Although, you know, it would be cool, but thank you. Ruse, 51 months. Thank you too. Overwatch 3 poggers. Stop. Green eggs, or sorry, Roy. Wait, who? What the heck? Why is this showing me this? Wait. I'm sorry, I've been scammed. All right, Nexi was the last one. Thank you for 51 months. React Harder streamer. Chat, hit me up. What other news have I missed in the past 2 days? There's actually quite a lot in the past 2 days that I've missed. I'm very surprised. Crisis 4 was announced. What? You're trolling, right? Link me. Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. I forgot about the biggest one. Wait, not the biggest one, but one of the biggest. I would have to actually look for a link to this. Wait, what is this? All right, wait. We'll go in order. We'll go in order. There's actually quite a lot of news. Crytek is pleased to confirm a new Crysis game is in development. Read our blog from our CEO to find out more. Read more. If you're one of the people who's inspired by Crysis again in dev, why not come for work for us? We have some opening available for those who want to work. Okay, is this another example of what exactly I was just talking about, where like they announced they're working on a game, but then they're like, please come work for us. We need talent. The fourth installment. All right, what do you got for me? What you got? 45 seconds, huh? It just said Crysis 4 working title, by the way. I don't know what I'm expecting out of this. It's 45 seconds long. Ah, yes. The armor. I never played Crysis for more than like 10 minutes. I just remember we had cool armor. Four. Okay. Crytek. And there's always the, the memes behind Crysis melting everyone's computers, right? So yeah, that's gonna be weird. What was the other stuff that got announced? There was let me think. There was one big one, which was that essentially the entire Counter-Strike scene has been bought by the Saudi Arabian government, which is really random, but apparently that's just the thing now in Counter-Strike. What? Yeah. So for those who don't know, the competitive scene in Counter-Strike was 90% of tournaments were run by ESL and Faceit, and an investment group that is essentially Saudi Arabian government bought them both and merged them together for $1.5 billion. They literally just walked in and bought all of the tournament organizers in Counter-Strike. It was $1 billion for ESL, and then $500 million for Faceit, and they merged them together and they bought both. So it's kind of, I would have to find some links, but yeah, that has been the spicy news in the Counter-Strike scene for the past few days that I've been AFK. And yeah, it's pretty intense. It's quite a lot of cash money. It's quite a lot of cash money. Schwarp, thank you for 32 months. And it puts, the scene is, it's such an awkward situation to deal with, because these are massive companies that run tournaments for everything. ESL and Faceit, they essentially combined run at least 80% of all tournaments for Counter-Strike. So it's a weird situation for sure. I don't even know how you would deal with a situation like that. It's so weird, man. Although I guess it's not very surprising that, massive investor groups are just dumping cash monies into esports. So, did I cover the biggest news? Liquid bought Limit. Okay, that's pretty small in the grand scheme of things, Pancaker. So Limit and WoW got bought out by Liquid, and a few of them got equity in Liquid as a result, which was probably just Max, actually. Not sure if others did. Honestly, no idea. But I don't know how much money that was involved and stuff like that. But that was a pretty small amount of money in comparison, right? So YouTube is also venturing into NFTs. Dude, I have no idea. good to see Cedo as an org again. I saw that I am glad he has an org again, because those guys, I think he was on the team that was originally signed to the OTK crew, and then I think they were immediately dropped because it turns out WoW PvP is actually not that popular. And then so they were just like, nah, see you later. And they got kind of baited. But that's all I remember about them. But yeah, there's quite a lot. What is there any other big ass news I've forgotten? Because apparently, although I do think, me forgetting until the last second, like, oh yeah, like the Saudi Arabian government just bought out most of the CS tournament organizers for $1.5 billion. I like how I left that one for last as the stuff I actually forgot. Although it makes sense because I'm not a Counter-Strike player, so. Steam Deck launches February 25th. Holy shit, dude, wait, I think I pre-ordered that a long time ago, and I think I just forgot about it. Oh my god. I don't know when I'm ever going to get that. That'd be sick. I know I'll get it someday. I had Q2. I'd have to go back and check. I definitely didn't have the early one. I ordered a little bit later, so I definitely was like, at least a month away from the first round of people. So does that mean that, well, no, that means that I would probably not get it first. I'll be the month after. It'll tell you there. Okay, I'll go look it up after. I haven't looked at it since I ordered it. I just remember I wasn't getting it for a while, and so I just ignored it. Man, Skill Up was a downer on the Blizzard buyout. Really? The Blizzard buyout. I talked about Blizzard buyout stuff last week pretty in depth, but to try and summarize how I feel about it, it's cool that they don't have to deal with Bobby Kotick, hopefully, in the long run, and hopefully the corporate level stuff, they don't have to deal with as much bullshit, and they actually can work on fixing a lot of the culture issues that are built in at Blizzard, but also I don't really see it changing the gameplay aspects as much in the short term, because it's more of like a longer term thing. Like the merger hasn't even happened, or the buyout hasn't even occurred until the fiscal year, which is like, has to go through all the regulation, all that. It's like a long-term thing. So you have to wait for a while. And then also on top of that, you have to wait for a while. And then in the meantime, Blizzard has had quite a lot of brain drain, I think, as a company. It's very weird as a content creator, because it wasn't something I knew when I started, but when I started being a content creator for Overwatch, that I would outlast a significant portion of the devs who were working on the game, right? The idea that I would be a fan of the game and do stuff, and I get to know the people, but those people would probably end up... It's a pretty normal thing in retrospect that I should have expected, but I didn't really expect it. Also, Gatortex, they were 43 months. Because most people, if you think about it, especially as time goes on, like, it's not like people in the tech industry like that get very good raises and stuff over time. Most people I know who actually do work those types of tech jobs, they just bounce new jobs like every couple of years to get significant pay raises and promotions and repeat. So I wonder what Jeff does nowadays. Dude, I've thought about that. I did hear that apparently Jeff plays Factorio, and then I knew that he was fine. Like, he was probably in the Factorio pit for like months. So I like to imagine Jeff doing nothing but playing Factorio. And then also Rust. Yes. The other game, like, Jeff Kaplan's an absolute degen. And so the other game that Jeff did play that I knew about at this time at Blizzard was he had thousands of hours in Rust. And so I just like to imagine, Jeff Kaplan just griefing nerds every day in Rust. And just in his off time, he's like, I don't have to work anymore. He's like just griefing everyone. It'd be awesome. Although chances are, I don't know where he will end up as a developer, but that guy's a legend. So maybe, I just want him to, maybe Jeff will go work on the Riot MMO, dude. Imagine. All right, that would be some hype, but I don't know if it'd be that, obviously no one knows about the Riot MMO, and it'd be like another 5 years since anyone saw it. But I'm excited, okay? I like Jeff, and I hope he ends up somewhere cool. Have you seen Jeff Kaplan's Twitter profile pic? He has the Gandalf beard. Jeff Kaplan doesn't have a Twitter. Also, wait. Can you read his EverQuest rant on stream, please? No. You guys could paste it, though. Did I react to the new Apex hero? What else have I missed? There's the new Apex hero. Wait, link me the new Apex character. I think Jeff is still unhireable. He still had non-compete in his contract for a year or two. I don't think non-competes in Southern California are legal. I don't think that is the reason why he wouldn't be working. He would probably just be vibing because he worked for 20 years at the same company, and now he's just like, fuck it, I'm taking 2 years off or whatever.
What is Seagull doing?
Oh god, someone pasted it. Whoever came up with the sheer fisting of an encounter can go fuck themselves. Dude, this whole rant is just so good. God bless Jeff Kaplan. All right, wait. Oh, we have a new character. New character in Apex. One sec. I'm just going through the news that chat links me today. Apex Legends Defiance Madness takes control. For the first 3 weeks of Defiance, see whether you can handle the madness in a new control mode. Select your loadout, drop into a 9v9 experience to hold points with infinite respawn. Extremely exciting. This sounds like a deathmatch. 100% in. New legend, Mad Maggie. Condemned to fight to the death in the games. Okay. But do we have any idea of what she does? Is there like a character to show what she does? Or is there like a trailer or anything? Wait, is this a trailer? Oh, this might be a trailer. Oh, no, this is just stories. It's not a trailer of the character. And quite frankly, I don't know anything about story trailers, so it's pointless for me to watch it. Not yet? Okay, so we know nothing. I mean, just by looking at her, you can kind of get an idea, dude. Look at this. What she got? Sometimes characters like Watson had the giant backpack, you know, dude. I don't know, maybe you can get some ideas from concept art. Basically, Ash from the leaks. There's no way she's gonna have like a knockback and Bob and stuff like that. I'd be surprised. And she has this stuff on her shoulder. I'm really curious what this is. That's a breach that explodes doors and stuns enemies. I'd have to see. Like, there's probably leaks out there, right? But we'll see. She looks like a shotgun specialist, similar to Rampart and LMGs. Oh, maybe. I mean, I have no idea. They're usually in Apex. Surprisingly, Apex had a decent amount of leaks for a lot of their characters. And there probably are leaks for this character as well. Would not be surprised. Although Apex is massive these days. They really cracked down on leaks this season. There's hardly any. Oh, wow. Good for them. I just remember historically, dude, they had... There's at least like 3 characters in a row where I swear it got leaked like the day before. Over and over and over. And it was weird. I don't know how it kept happening, but I guess they finally got their shit together. We actually do know that her abilities, they got leaked. Wait, really? Wait, link me. Link me. I'm excited. Wait, passive shotgun kick. You have a shotgun in your leg that fires when you melee doors or enemies. Okay, is this real? That's what? A tactical flashbang, throw a grenade that briefly blinds and deafens opponents. Yeah, because both of those. Okay, there's no way. That's a meme. I don't believe it. You just have a flashbang and a shotgun leg, dude? Nah. It's real? Wait, paste the whole thing then. Wait, link me. Will you be buying the Elgato foot pedal? Wait, why is there an Elgato foot pedal? You're trolling, right? Wait. I mean, actually, I'm not even opposed to foot pedals. Like, foot pedals in general are like, you know, they're underrated. All right. It's a thing. Jesus. Shotguns do not belong in video games. It's a Stream Deck foot pedal announced yesterday. Man, you know, I know people, there are some streamers who could probably get use out of that, but like the Stream Deck is just a bunch of buttons and I guess I should just use more of the buttons because I use like 4 of them in total. Like when I'm AFK and I come back and to turn the webcam on and off. I don't know if I need any more buttons. I guess I'm just like a low tier technical streamer. Stream Deck pedal. I don't even need to click on it. I mean, when you just immediately show me, hey, here's a Stream Deck pedal, like just by the headline, I don't need to click on it. I already automatically know it's a foot pedal. And what does a foot pedal do, dude? You just smash that shit and something happens. I don't know. Okay. Also, so Apex stream today? No. So right now I'm leaning more towards Overwatch again today because I do want to try out Dying Light, but I still am in the process of convincing myself to try this game again. Not because it's a bad game, but because every single time I play it, I crash. The last time I tried to play it was January 2019, and I want to say this was the 4th time I tried to play Dying Light on 2 different computers, and each time I would crash and it would wipe my save. It forced me to replay like the last hour. And this happened over and 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 over. Like I have 26.5 hours, but I've only ever gotten less than 10 hours into the game. I've done the intro to Dying Light 1 at least 6 times. Like I know all the quests. The last time I played it, I had memorized all of the dialogue. And so now it's been a few years, all right? So maybe I won't actually, maybe it'll be different this time. And I'm on a different computer. This will be the 3rd computer. But I keep getting baited because everybody's like, dude, this game's amazing. And it's, yeah, I know. I really want to try it, but I've gotten burned so many times. And I'll try it tomorrow. I thought the game was kind of boring. Well, I don't think it's boring. When it wasn't crashing, I genuinely enjoyed it. They fixed it, I'm pretty sure. From what I remember, the DLC fucked up some things. Yeah. They've probably passed it over time. They've released a lot of DLC. I think they've been supporting Dying Light 1 for ages. The Dying Light is a very, very good game from everything I've ever heard about it. And given that I've also played it a little bit, I have enjoyed the pieces that I played. But also, I'm not sure if it's necessary just yet to play Dying Light 1. The only reason we're talking about Dying Light, by the way, chat, is because Dying Light 2 launches like next Friday. And so we've been sitting here debating, okay, should I try Dying Light 1 again and risk the intro crash yet again for my own? I'm only risking my sanity. Like, is that even important? Probably not. All right, one second. Let me log into BNet, by the way. Eyebrow check? Yeah, I see him, chat. I hope you guys see him because I see him. Check out Not for Broadcast for Big Dying Light, similar to Papers, please. What is that? Wait, what does that even mean? Can we see one of the cats soon, TM? They're usually sleeping at this time of day. Like, they actually get mad when I get out of bed because I'm just their heater. So they'll both sleep on me. And then when I move, he just sits there, he just gets very unhappy. He like meows at me sometimes, but he's just generally just kind of upset. Take off. Saint 70, thank you. Not for Broadcast is a live action game. I'm trying to think, what other games have come out that are fast so we can start burning? So basically, chat, all we're trying to do is burn time until new games are launching. So very soon, we're going to have Dying Light 2, which will probably be like at least a week or 2 worth of content. And then it's like, boom, new Destiny expansion, Lost Ark, Elden Ring. Like, it's going to be nonstop. Boop, 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 boop. And so in the middle now, and we're currently in the before times where we get to mess around and do stuff. Elden Ring is 30 hours without side quests. Okay, but what about with? So anyway, what I've been doing is I've actually been enjoying Overwatch. Overwatch right now is a decent meta. Like it's not super. I mean, it has pretty good variety, but Overwatch in general right now, you know, I get that yearly check-in. All right, and then you play the game for like 2 to 3 weeks, and then you realize that it was the same game you played the year prior, and then you get sick of it, and you can't force yourself to keep playing it because if you do, you get burned out and repeat. And that's where I enjoyed Overwatch the most, right? You do the check-in, you're like, oh, this is a good fucking game. And then you remind yourself of why it's so good, but you don't keep forcing it to the point of burnout, and you peace out and repeat. Like, and in the next month, you go try it out again for a few days and repeat or whatever. You're gonna do the day one raid for Destiny 2. I did that a couple raids ago in Destiny. I did that for, why can't I remember the name of the raid right now? It was the one after Garden, I think. DSC, yes, Deepstone Crypts. We did day one for DSC. And it was actually very, very fun. We had a really, really good time. And I'd be tempted to do that again for the new Destiny expansion. But Destiny expansions in general are actually they're just very fun times to play Destiny. Like for me, I don't know how other people play Destiny, but I'm very casual, which I think is the best way to ever play games like Destiny. Any PvE game that works on a seasonal model, if you play it every single day, you will probably not have a good time because you're going to get bored. And so what you do is instead, you wait for a new season, you log on for like 2 weeks straight and you hard grind, and then you log on like every once in a while after that. And it's so fucking good. You always have something to do. But if you play it every single day, you'll probably feel a little more bored unless you're just hanging out with friends doing stuff. But if you log on like once a week or a couple times a week, you're probably going to have a lot more fun. And I think that's probably also, that's a generalization that kind of works on any video game, to be honest, except hardcore PvP ones. If you play hardcore PvP games and you play every day, you're getting content from other people, right? The idea that like you're trying to improve or mess around or this or that. And it's not necessarily just like you're playing a PvE game that's basically an MMO. And then after the content runs out, you stop. So is it a bit late to get in Destiny? Only a little bit because of the story, actually. It can get hard to catch up on all the stories that they have going on simultaneously. But I'd say in general, it's not hard to catch up gameplay wise. It is annoying to catch up and remind yourself of all the lore that you may have missed so you can keep track of what's happening. And I think that is something in comparison that Final Fantasy XIV does in a really, really good way. But that's more of like a technical difference, I guess. Like if I go back and I play Final Fantasy XIV for the first time and I wanted to go through the entire main story quest, which is like 300 hours long, I can do that. And I will have the exact experience that someone else had over the course of 5 years, right? You can't really have that in a game like Destiny because it's so much is seasonal. And they have to vault content for consoles or whatever their tech reasons are for vaulting content. So I'd say Destiny is in a decent spot to get into right now. In general, like I've heard good things. Like Destiny, I've always heard pretty much you have bad seasons, but it's always pretty good. At least recently. I've heard nothing but good things for like the past year in Destiny. Only grind Destiny 2 is to catch up on exotic weapons and their catalysts. Hey, I guess there's also transmog. I don't know. Transmog in Destiny is a little bit weird though, because I think it had to be monetized, right? Yeah, you had a little bit of everything. You had when I first played Destiny, there's actually quite a lot of content. If you play for the first time and you have nothing, there is so much shit to do. Like you can grind out so many exotic quests and so many pieces of gear, and there's so many items to farm. When I went on that binge, I want to say it was a couple years ago. It was on Shadowkeep's launch. That was the first time I had played Destiny 2 since the release. And for those who don't know, Destiny 2 was on launch was total dog shit. Like, damn, they definitely just had to get the game out there, and it you got to max level or item level and you started doing the weeklies and stuff, and it was just, there was nothing happening. And so I played Destiny 2 on launch for, I want to say, about 24 hours straight. And so, in essentially one sitting, I got to like the raid power level and all that. And then I realized that it was all weekly gated, and then I quit and I uninstalled the next day. And so I then revisited Destiny 2 with Shadowkeep, and it was fucking sick. Like, it was awesome. I think I put in 120 or 140 hours, and I just played it every day for like a month. And there was always something to do. Did it also have a shit ton of performance issues on launch too? It did, I think, but I mean, I was pro gaming at the time, so I still had a good PC and everything, so I was just chilling. What else do we have? What else to talk about before we hop into some OW, dude? Let's see. Tomorrow's PoE 3.17 announcement. Don't forget to watch it, Smile. Dude, Path of Exile's next league is kind of fucked. And I mean this in the most honest way as somebody who loves to like watch PoE, which is really weird because PoE is pretty boring for people who don't play it too often. They are somehow synced up with like Lost Ark. I have no idea how they're going to do anything. Like, Lost Ark is going to eat everybody's lunch in that genre for a while. Everybody, you know, if you're an ARPG player and there's a new league of PoE, league launches 1 week before Lost Ark. Yeah, so people play for like 1 week. And then everyone's going to go try out Lost Ark because it's way too hyped. At least enough people that I personally know. So. And then there's also immediately afterwards all the other stuff. Lost Ark is an MMO. I don't want to grind an MMO. Yeah, that's true. They are very, very different games. But also, it will attract the same audience. So, Luska, 4 months, take off. Thank you. Lost Ark, Pega. Yes, also true. Got to pull your credit card for that. Big time. Wait until Crisis 4 burns through all the 3070s, 80s, and Ryzens. Listen... Listen, I have a 3090. My GPU has never had any faulty problems whatsoever in any video game. Nope. Especially not New World. Have you played Vampire Game Streamer? Wait, what is the vamp? Oh, wait. That is dude, I've seen multiple people talking about that. Apparently there's like an indie game that's called Vampire Survivor, and it's like $3 on Steam, and a shit ton of people were super addicted to it. And I looked at it, and it's like a $3 game, and it's super indie, and it had something like 7,000 or 8,000 reviews. And I was like, what the fuck? And it had just released recently. And it was just, I guess, just a very basic game that people were just grinding because it was $3, and it just blew up, and people were having fun with it. Try it? We can try it. I'm actually down. I don't have anything I really want to try out today, so I'm in. It's a pickup, auto kill a bunch of mobs, level a little bit, get progression unlocks, and enjoy. It does one thing, and it does it well. It's fun. You can spend like 6 hours and get everything. Dude, 6 hours for $3 is pretty good. Like, that's pretty solid. The value. Yeah. Like, if I could get it, all my games be 6 hours for $3, like, holy shit. Oh, man. And it's early access. It's like, I did actually buy it. I forgot I bought it until you guys mentioned that. Because I saw Baru tweet it, and I saw a couple other people talking about how good the game was. And I actually forgot that I wanted to try it on stream at some point. Vampire Survivor is like playing Path of Exile and Diablo in-game in a short duration. Really? Alright, fuck it. Let's try it. Oh god, I have friends playing this right now, big. Alright, time to see how this game works, chat.